So Amphasys has created this instrument, which is an instrument to measure cell viability. So when we started in 2012, we were basically looking at where can we add the most value. So we had to basically choose the cell type and the industry. And somehow we cut across the agricultural world, and we saw that the agricultural world has a huge mission. By 2050, they have to basically double the output of food, and we were looking at how we could help them remove the bottlenecks in order to get to that goal. And we saw that pollen is obviously very, very important for seed production. You know, without pollen, no seeds. And we saw that there's no real good way to measure pollen viability at the moment to see the quality. So typically, we know a lot about the females, but we don't know a lot about the male lines. And obviously for hybrid seed production, this is very important. Impedance flow cytometry, it's something relatively new. So the first developments were done in 2016, so 16 years ago, so 2003. And it's based on a Coulter counters principle. So some seed companies use the Coulter counter already to count pollen. But it's just a counter. You don't get any information about the feedback. So if we have a male line which produces a kilo of pollen, but that's only 10% viable, then we basically do the same as a plant that produces only 100 grams of pollen at 100% viability. So with the impedance flow cytometry, we're able to tell you how much pollen you have and what the viability is. And we do this by electrical signals. So what happens is we have a little microchannel. In the microchannel, the pollen will flow in a buffer. And on top of the microchannel, we have an electrode. And on the bottom, we have another one. So when the top of the channel is positively charged, the pollen cells will align themselves with this charge. So that means that the pollen becomes negatively charged on top. And then when we inverse the polarity of the channel, so now the top is negative, then the top of the pollen will also slowly become positive. But this takes some time. And actually, the time this takes is different between a dead pollen and a pollen that's viable and active. And that's how we can tell what the viability is of the pollen. So the nice thing is that there's no staining, so that means no toxicity. We can run many samples because we don't have to do any staining protocols. And now our customers are capable of measuring many lines per day and get information about how they perform. So for a breeding company, this increases efficiency by a lot. We developed our buffers together with a company called Amphasys. And Amphasys, they reported back to us that their breeding efficiencies went up from 50% to 80% just by checking the pollen quality. Because so often breeders are dealing with inbreeding depression, meaning that plants don't produce as many pollen anymore. So then it's really important to know at what time you transfer the pollen from the male to the female in order to get a successful cross. And in addition to the breeding, which is obviously a very important part of it, I mean, so many companies now are also breeding for heat resistance. I mean, pollen are very sensitive to heat. It's actually the first tissue that starts failing. And now we can, in a very high throughput way, we can look at all those different lines. But in addition to that, we can also look in production. So there's many angles again there. Some companies they are producing pollen in one area and they ship it to another. So then they have to put the quality gates. They have to know how to store the pollen. They have to do the farm management, on the pollen production side, but also on the farmer, the end user, the seed producer side. And also when we have a new line or a new environment that we produce the line in, we have to know how to manage the farm. So what irrigation, what fertilization, and we have to do everything in a cost-effective way that doesn't limit our production. So this is very simple, really. So when we started with this pollen viability.
Sorry,
yes.
With that question, can I just ask you to say the reason that Amphasys is growing so fast is.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about what has led you to becoming such a fast-growing company?
So the reason that Amphasys has grown so fast is that there's really a big need in the seed world to increase productivity. In the beginning, the companies weren't really sure how to use this new data because it was very new. I often compare this instrument to the first microscope. The first time we had a microscope, people were getting sick but we didn't know why. Then we saw the bacteria, and then we knew, okay, we have to wash our hands. So very simple things, but fundamental. And now we do the same for the pollen. And so often we hear about myths about pollen. You know, some breeders think that the color of the pollen is indicative of the quality. Then we measure and we show it's actually not the case. So we're taking away the myths, we're coming with the facts, with the data, and based on the data, the customer is able to make good decisions. So first off, we are not a service company. So we don't provide the service, but what we do is we work together with the customers very, very closely. And we have many collaborations going on specific applications. And we share this information with all our customers. So yearly we have an Academy in Switzerland at our home site. Our customers can come there and learn about the latest developments. So on a technological side, the instrument is very, very mature. But then in terms of how to use the data, how to make the decisions, we can help a lot with that. And every year we update our customers on that. So it's really very, very broad. And we're a very open company and we're very proud of that.